Welcome to the official World Cup Challenge podcast special. I'm Meg Matt.
I'm Matt Short.
And we are here at the MKM Stadium, and we're delighted to say we've got a live audience here with us today. Can we have another cheer for you guys?
I love the enthusiasm. I had a quick look at the Super League table, and we are actually, as you can see, at the MKM Stadium, the home of Super League's, or Hull's Premier Super League club, according to the table.
Oh, way to get the crowd. Way to get the crowd on side, Matt.
I had to try.
We are actually going to have you on side here today because you are the treble holders, aren't you? The reigning champions. It's all about you guys for the next couple of weeks. And we've got some special guests, so should we get them on?
Yeah, let's get firing.
Starting with the Hull KR boys, please welcome Whitbread and Oliver Gildart.
Gentlemen, how are we doing? All right, try machine over here. Moody already.
Yeah, nice that, but would have taken a win, but
It happens. I tell you what, let's get
it out of the way.
Let's address. What happened? What you've had a chance to watch it. I'm sure Willie's had words.
Words.
Yeah. What's been the debrief?
just not up to our standards, really. Yeah, just missed the mark in multiple areas. So yeah, definitely something that we're going to have to improve real quick.
Ollie?
Yeah, I think the penalty count, we let ourselves down, our discipline. Obviously, they're trying to change the ruling and trying to make the rucks a bit quicker this year, so that's something we're going to have to adapt to pretty fast. But yeah, I'm pretty confident we can.
Maybe a good wake-up call ahead of such a big game?
Yeah, I think, well, you don't like losing, but I think when you lose in that manner, it forces you to take a look at yourself and reflect on what went wrong. So, yeah, definitely been some hard conversations this morning, so, yeah.
Obviously, the NRL's been playing these quicker. It's been a talk, hasn't it? It was around the Ashes as well. We saw the Brisbane boys in one of the greatest ever grand finals last year, and it was like a points fest, which we're not used to seeing. You've had a chance to experience it a little bit now. Do you think it's good for the game where we're going with all of that?
Yeah, definitely. I think quicker rucks is a more exciting game, free-flowing game, but I just think the consistency around that with the referees. I think the games over the weekend, some of them look different to others, so yeah, again, it's just going to be referee dependent, really, and on how that goes. And as players, you've just got to kind of adapt and keep going.
You already try to get into the referee.
But starting with you, I mean, you've had a long Super League career, but I mean, from relegated twice, is it, to World Cup Challenge? That's quite the journey, isn't it?
Yeah. It's been a long journey. Definitely aged me a bit, probably. But no, I mean, yeah. When I first came over here, to be honest, I didn't know what to expect, and the environments I came into, it was hard. But yeah, to have a year like, well, did the last 2 years, and particularly the year just gone, like, yeah, that trumps those relegations, and you sort of, I guess, feel like a winner.
Do you get ribbed at all from the boy? Ollie's laughing, which suggests that you do.
No. Not really. Nah, I think the boys have forgot about it. Probably sometimes by fans, but I would like to think that one of them I didn't play a massive part in, so. Yeah.
Having gone from those experiences though to the culture with Hull KR and that winning culture and what you've experienced and achieved, what do you feel like the biggest difference is at the club you're at now?
I think, like, everyone works hard, but I think, like, the direction everyone works in and sort of, you've got to have tough conversations, you've got to be honest. I think in sometimes in clubs when things go wrong, a lot of people don't want to take accountability and they point the finger, and I think KR is definitely a club where we're all pulling together. We all know, I mean, why we play it, and we know the values and the standards, and it's quite black and white. So I think that's probably a massive difference between clubs I've been at.
Just a lesser known fact about you is that you actually were at Brisbane once upon a time in was it the 20s and New South Wales Cup back in the day?
Yeah, I played 20s with my mate over there.
Oh, did you? Oh, you know each
yeah.
other. Oh, we can get into that then. Oh, that's good fun. How was that then? Long time ago now, but...
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah, it was unreal. I mean, the competition, the NYC back then, it was great. Like, we were young kids. We got to follow the first grade team around and play curtain raisers every week. I mean, like, yeah, it was unreal. It's like being a young kid. It was sort of opened your eyes and I guess made you aspire to take that next step.
And moving on to you, Ollie. Now, not to start on you have played a final at this ground before. In 2020, but hoping to get a better experience on this ground on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely. It's obviously a great stadium, and I think that was a great final. I think if we did have fans in it, it would have been some atmosphere. But yeah, obviously a lot different this year. We've got the fans back in, and really looking forward to it.
It's been a talking point playing it at Hull FC's ground. What do the boys think of it?
I think we just look at it as, it's a bigger stadium to get more fans in. The more Rovers fans we can get here to support, and Super League fans in general, it only adds to that atmosphere. So as players, that's all you want to do. You want to play in the big games, the loud games, and I think we're going to get that this Thursday.
And as you can all see on your seats, as some people already have, Specsavers have provided some glasses so you can change the stadium into, rather than black and white, into red. So you can all wear those on game day as well.
There's been some very good promo around this stadium today.
Yeah.
I've seen it all over. We're now in Robins territory, which I know people on the west side of the city are going to be absolutely fuming with all week. Ollie, you obviously had a bit of a different career trajectory in that you've already won a World Club. You won a grand final at 20. Let's talk about the World Club, given it's that week. It was 2017, I think, against Cronulla.
Yeah, it was a great feeling, obviously, as a young kid from Wigan. I've watched plenty of the Wigan teams go ahead in the World Cup Challenge, and such a big occasion, and to play in that team that won it, it was real special. And I'd love to get the chance to do it again. They don't come around too often, so when they do, you've got to take your opportunity, and that's something as a club we're looking to do this week.
Who were you up against that day? Because you had a good game, didn't you? Did you score a couple?
I scored one. I think Budge got a hat-trick that day.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a great day. We had a good few days after that, so it was good times.
Which were better, the few days after that or the few days after the grand final this year?
They all knock years off your life. But, I couldn't pick really.
Probably the Challenge Cup celebrations were harder, weren't they? Last year.
Are they allowed to say that because it's mid-season?
Joe Burgess didn't play for about a month after.
No comment.
But it's a massive game for the club. Everything you achieved last year, historic year, getting the first silverware in 40 years, but then winning the first grand final, win the league leaders. Would this surpass what you achieved last year? I suppose it's a question for both of you this. If you could beat Brisbane and win the World Club.
Yeah, I think with it being the club's obviously first game as a World Cup Challenge, it's such an important game, and that would be really special. You got to be in the moment, in the now, and this is the biggest game of our lives coming up, and in the club's history. So I definitely agree with that statement.
Yeah, I agree with Gil. Like, I just think it's massive for, I guess, the Super League too. It's the best in the NRL versus the best in the Super League. So, to win that, it's a massive game, and probably at the moment it's the biggest game in our careers.
And we might get onto it a bit more later, but what would it also mean to kind of head over to Vegas with all those other NRL teams to say, we just beat your champions?
I don't know whether we can only think about that after the game, can't we? But I think it'll just give us a boost going into the season, definitely. Give us a bit of confidence. We've got to win it first.
Awesome. I think that wraps this part up.
Yeah, thank you, boys. We'll bring you back in later, but next up we can bring in Brisbane Broncos, Pat Carrigan and Ben Hunt.
Right, Pat, I'm going to let you have a swipe here at Jai. Any embarrassing stories you can tell us?
Yeah, well, I don't think I can get in trouble in this country. It all happened in Australia, so we obviously started our journey together at the Broncos. Both left school at 17 and missed schoolies and went to day one in NRL pre-season. So, obviously got a bit of history, and I don't know if we'll get him home anytime soon. He's loved up and loving his footy and playing great as well.
Have you kept in touch then since being away?
Yeah. We were quite good mates, so we played a bit of schoolboy rugby against each other as well, and obviously 20 hours is a long way away, so I don't get to see the big fella too much, but I'm lucky for Instagram and those sort of things these days.
And it's your second trip to England in quite a short space of time. How was the Ashes? How do you look back on that, and then being over here again?
It was good. I didn't think this place would get any colder. I'm back here now, and I don't know what happened. So, really enjoyed that experience. We've been in London, so I've played tour guide for the last couple of days. So I'm glad to get to a new place, Hull, that I've never been, and get excited for a fun game that's coming up.
Yeah, I think you went to watch Chelsea, was it, the other day? Was that one of your little activities out in London?
Yeah, we did. Went to Chelsea, got lost on the tube, all the rest. So, yeah.
It's the day we got in, everyone was pretty tired. There's a couple of videos of boys like just falling asleep in the grandstand watching the game.
Nice.
I'm just laughing that you think it's cold, because if you'd been playing at Craven Park, that is the coldest ground in rugby league. It's right by the sea. The wind is horrific. It's a goal kicker's nightmare. It's a horrible place. The guys will vouch for it. You've got it quite good here. It's not as cold here. But just on Hull, do you arrive today? Because you were down training with the Broncos yesterday.
Yeah, so we arrived about an hour ago. So, arrived today. Trained with the London Broncos boys yesterday, which was exciting too. So, we're fresh off.
I'm sure there's people in the audience who can show you the good places to go in Hull. Lots of cheap beer. That's fair, isn't it? Not that you'll be drinking. I'm sure you'll be taking it. But
hang on, we're in the Ashes.
This is true.
This is true. We after the Liverpool test, we thought, oh, we'll go for a drink. Let's go to Albert Sloss, because I live near Liverpool. And we walk in Albert Sloss and we think, is this the whole Australia squad in fancy dress? I think you were a pirate, were you?
Yes. It was Halloween.
So there we go. So they do know how to have a good time.
Do have a good time. It was, London. You were proper tourists for like a week of that trip, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, we got over a little bit early, obviously, to skip the jet lag, as they say. So spent a week in London, and I was definitely looking forward to playing by that point. So
Where are you recommending for them to go in Hull then?
Oh, Craig Franklin's looking at me.
You're not telling.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if Hull KR win on Thursday night, that would be a party place. But Wednesday night, where can they go the night before the game? Student night in Hull. Student night, there'll be plenty of good places you can go. But you want to go down to, there are actually some lovely places in Hull. Down the marina. I'm sure you'll be looked after. Who's your tour guide while you're out here? Jai?
Yeah. If him or Willie Peters, who picks up the phone.
There's the interesting thing as well for you with the Ashes is Willie Peters, your assistant coach, and now he'll be coaching Hull KR. How did you make him as an assistant in the Ashes?
Yeah, he was unreal. I think, obviously being at that stage, you could definitely see, the culture and the values that he's instilled with the Hull boys, and he brought that to our team as well. And he was actually into me about this weather coming back over in February. I didn't believe him then, but I do now. So, he's a great coach.
Ben, what about you? So, how many trips have you had to England over your career?
This is my third. I was lucky enough to come over in the World Cup a few years ago, and then 2016, when the World Club Challenge was on, they actually brought 3 teams over. Yes. So I come over and played then, so show my age a bit. But
Who did you play that?
Warrington, I think it was. Yeah,
it was a good game, actually.
Yeah. So third trip, and it's colder than any trip I remember. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty familiar with Albert Schloss myself. Being in Manchester for 9 weeks in the World Cup, we stayed just up the road, so good place.
That's a good.
That's a very good Albert Schloss, yeah.
Yeah. What do you make of Super League of England in general? You've had a career of watching from afar, but I know you'll have a lot of friends over here. What do you make of it all?
It's a little bit different, I think, to our game. Like the boys touched on with the refs trying to change the rules, it is a bit of a slower ruck to what the NRL has been probably the last 4 or 5 years. They've really tried to speed that up and, in a way, sort of take a few of the big boys out of the game. But it's an exciting game. I love watching it wherever I can. It's on pretty early at home, so usually watching the replays. But no, it's a great brand of footy, and I know whenever NRL comes over here to play these games, they've definitely got their fair share of wounds from the Super League teams. So it's going to be a tough one.
We've lost the last
two.
The NRL have lost the last two. I'm sure that won't come into you talking, but obviously that Penrith side, unbelievable side, even lost on their own home turf. So it's, I think over here we can be quite precious, can't we, about the stigma that the NRL have on Super League. But I would imagine the last two world clubs had was it a conversation point? Actually, these Super League teams can
on
go,
the day can do it. Yeah.
It wasn't really just talk about the last two. I think Super League's been pretty strong for quite a while in these games. So yeah, we're definitely not coming over and taking it lightly. We know it's going to be a tough competition, and they won the competition over here for a reason. They're a good side, and I think they're going to have a fair wake-up call from their coach after the game last week, like the boys talked about. So it's going to be a solid one.
And it's interesting as well because your head coach, his time in Super League is kind of touted with changing the way the game was played over here. He brought in wrestling, he brought in all these different things that Super League had never had before in his time at Wigan. What is it like with Michael Maguire as a head coach? I guess it's one for both of you.
Only the Wigan boys would know.
Well, there's some of the stories I've heard about some of his methods, and he is, I think, intense, but shows that it pays dividends in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. We only have to look back on kind of our last year, Madge's first year at the club, and we train hard, and Madge, is intense as those words kind of get labelled, but we're also professional rugby league players, and our job is to win, and like the boy said, this game is the best of the best from both regions essentially, and make no mistake, it's going to be exciting.
One thing we pride ourselves on over here is how loud and proud our crowds are. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting out there on Thursday night?
Yeah, from what I've been told by everyone, it's going to be pretty crazy. During the World Cup when I was over, we were lucky enough to get a pretty few loud crowds, and the back end of our season this year, our last couple of games, we filled Suncorp Stadium, which is 52,000 or something like that, and it was extremely loud too. But I've heard that the crowds here are a bit more hostile.
I think these guys might be ready to give you a bit of hostility.
Fans do at home, so I'm actually looking forward to it.
Let me tell you, they might have been queuing up for photos with you today. they will be abusing you, and I can promise you. You saw some of it just this start. I felt the Wembley game the atmosphere wasn't all that, but Everton, that was brutal. I mean, Reece got it so he was getting hammered.
I enjoyed that. So
there you go. He wants it on Thursday. There you go.
Everton, I remember stepping off the bus, and it was as you walk through the crowd into their new stadium, it was on for young and old. So we've been putting a kitty together. We're trying to buy seats and give them to FC fans to come to. So see how we go.
What were the best spray you got in the Ashes?
The best spray? Yeah. There's nothing PG enough I can probably repeat.
Oh no, there are children in the audience, actually. So you'll get more of it this week.
Yeah, you will, 100%. With that, should we bring back in the other two? All four of you can stay.
You can stay there, guys. You can stay
there.
Right, Jai, come on, tell us about Patty. He's gone nice on you, but you can get your own back if you want.
I have to go home, remember?
Nah, I won't throw him under the bus.
Look, we mentioned it earlier on. Super League have got the better of the NRL. For you guys, and it always feels like whoever plays for Super League in the World Club Challenge, there's almost this idea they've got a reputation to upkeep. You've got to show the best of Super League. Do you guys feel that, not just the pressure to win it for yourselves in your own club, but actually for Super League and to show it in a good light, and to any doubters to prove that actually, this is a very good competition?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, although they're separate competitions, we belong to Super League now, so you want to do the best for obviously your club first, and but then it ties into there is a little rivalry there. Let's be honest. So I think you want to do the Super League proud.
Who? You'll watch Brisbane now, I'm assuming, or you'll be watching for a long time. I'm going to ask the question to these guys as well. Who are the danger men, and who are you looking forward to coming up against, both of you in your respective positions?
We've got superstars all across the team. There's no adding that, but as a personal level, obviously I'm going up against Tony Staggs, and he's probably one of the best centres in the world. So they're challenges that you love as a player, and something you've got to face front on, and that's for all of us across the board. We know we've got our work cut out on Thursday, but as players, again, that's what you want to be a part of, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, for me, it's the boys in the middle first, and then I think the speed for a big man is always a bit daunting. So yeah, they've got a few speed men there that definitely going to have to keep our eye on.
I bet you're more scared's the wrong word, more nervous about trying to tackle Reece Walsh than this guy, aren't you?
Maybe.
Right, we've got to ask you about Reece, the haircut. It's been the talk of has he been getting ribbed in training for that? It took us everyone by surprise.
Yeah.
Gets ribbed about everything.
Yeah.
Really.
He
Just
doesn't get
another
too
thing
many
to put
free
on his
passes.
list. Yeah, it doesn't seem to bother him. Everyone just gets into him about everything, but that's just who he is. He just turns it on.
How about for you guys? What have you been focusing on when you've been kind of analysing Hull KR ahead of this one?
Personally, we're just going back to someone you want to play against. Mikey Lewis for me, I don't know if he's playing or not after the trip on the weekend. Did he get off that? Is it we just sweep that under the rug?
The match review panel have this brilliant tendency of when a World Club Challenge comes of forgetting, but he'll be
fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope he does play. To be honest, like he's a great player, and you always want to play up against the best, and he's someone for me. But yeah, it's we've done a little bit of analysis, I guess, on them, and they're a great side for a reason. They won the comp for a reason. They've got some good attack right across the park. So yeah, we're gonna have to be pretty well organised defensively.
Pat, what about yourself? What do you make of Rovers?
Yeah, well, obviously I've had opportunity to play against a few of the boys in the national team too. So, as Jai said, that the battle of the middle is kind of where it all goes down, and as we say, the back's probably determined by how much. But I think just knowing the quality that they have in the middle of the park, and obviously Jared was here last year, and probably coming up against him in the NRL and his influence and what he prides himself on. I know a lot of these boys will do the same. So, yeah, it makes for exciting footy, and yeah, definitely exciting game.
Jez Litton, obviously, in the Ashes, he had a great series, didn't he? The try that he set up in the Leeds game. What do you make of him as a player?
Yeah, he's a great player. Even the other night, his running game, and he's a little bit similar to Harry in that sense. I think we got to see in the Ashes where they're both quite crafty out of nine and bring their middles onto the ball. So I think he actually got me in the Ashes too. So he's quite a good defender, and definitely a player to watch out for.
And just in terms of World Cup Challenge legacy, I mean, one of the ones I'm going to have to mention, I'm from St Helens, I have to mention it, but 2007, I mean, a legend of your club, Darren Lockyer, played in a loss against St Helens, and it was one of the most iconic commentaries in which he knocks on a high kick and everyone goes, he is human, it's this big thing. But is that kind of a reminder that someone even of his status at your side has come over here and walked away without that trophy?
Yeah, I think it's obviously the respect level for the stature that this game's held in, for one, and for two, probably in more recent times. You guys mentioned Penrith before. Yeah. Were unable to get the job done as well. So the Super League as a whole is in a really good position, and the quality of opposition like we're going to come up against on Thursday nights, second to none also in the NRL. So.
Can we expect a few words between you two on the pitch on Thursday? Yeah.
We'll keep those mics on.
Yeah, you can word them out.
I was just going to ask, obviously for Hull KR, look, their first ever World Club Challenge, just speaks for itself how important, how big a game this is for the club. But for Brisbane, a long history with the World Club Challenge. You've mentioned some of the defeats, but some of the wins as well. How much have you spoke about the importance of winning this trophy, not just coming over to England and having a good game with Hull KR, actually winning and adding to the legacy of what you've already built with what you did last year?
Yeah, I think it's just another opportunity as a group to keep growing day by day, and it comes at a pretty important time in both of our seasons at the moment to put us in a good position for the NRL year ahead. So it's definitely not lost on us, the stature of this sort of game, and it's something definitely that we're looking forward to, because when you get opportunity to test yourself against the best, that's kind of where you really find out what you're about. So I think we've seen in the Super League Grand Final that the Hull boys aren't overawed by anything, and I don't think that'll mean much at all either.
Perfect. With that, it's now time to turn over to you guys. So I will put this mic back on and it'll take a minute. And then if you have a question, please just raise your hand and I will come round to you. There must be some questions. Anyone? Yes, let's go. Around here. Hello, what's your name?
Jeff.
Jeff, here you go.
Hello. Hello, fellas. You spoke earlier about the speed of the game and the difference. Do you have to adapt your game from how you normally play it to playing in the World Cup, playing the opposition in a different style?
We've actually talked a bit about this week, and coming from Madge, he just wants us to play our game. We don't want to try and adapt things, and that's where you can start getting loose and giving away penalties and trying to do things that we haven't really trained for. So we're just trying to go out and play our game and stick to what we know.
Yeah, like I said, there's new ruling coming in this year, so it's all adapting new for us. We obviously did a bit of work in the pre-season, but again, that's got to take that week by week, I suppose.
Little fella's got a question.
Hello, what's your name?
Isaac.
Isaac. And who will you be supporting on Thursday?
Okay.
I thought so. What's your question, Isaac?
For the Broncos, if you were to sign one of the whole KR players, who would it be?
Jeez.
I've got to go back and see my teammates
Yeah.
after this.
Who are we replacing? That's tough.
I'll say Jiza, so I get to hang out with him.
Yeah, we'll take one of these boys. We won't get on the bad side here.
If you were to sign a Broncos player, who would it be?
Go on, Joe. I got this one.
I think. Well, I don't want to put my teammates out. That's a tough question. That.
Who do you want to sign?
Who do you sign from Brisbane?
Baseball.
There you go. That'll do.
Have we got any more questions? Anyone? Yes.
The state of the pitch here is going to be well different to what you're used to playing in. Are you going to cope with that one? Bear in mind you're going to have a load more rain before then.
Well, I was actually thinking when we spoke about trying to change the way we'll play, we'll be similar, but obviously the conditions are something that you have to acknowledge. And I'm not sure. It seems like it's going to be wet every day we're here, let alone for kick-off. So, trying to respect the footy and, make sure that we don't become our worst enemy is going to be definitely a thing for us to focus on too. So, I think the field's obviously a little bit shorter too. So there's going to be a couple of things, but at the end of the day, we're playing rugby league. So the two best teams, and one will sort it out and one will get the job done.
Yeah, guys, I've got a question. What's better, Tim Tams or Penguins?
Oh.
I don't even know what Penguins are.
Say Tim Tam.
Tim Tam's better.
Tim Tam.
And I believe we've got another one over here.
Yeah.
It was just a question about the weather. Does it affect you a lot playing in the conditions here versus to at home?
I feel like being in the middle, I feel like I can breathe better. It's very hot back home, so 30 odd degrees and very humid, but also it's wet and cold, so warming up and those sort of things. So it's an opportunity. It's fun. It's definitely probably slippery on the ball.
It's harder to get going the start of the game or half time. When you come out from half time, it's pretty tough. But once you're a couple minutes in, it's usually a lot better, especially for us guys in the middle.
What's the toughest NRL ground in terms of heat?
Like as in the weather, or
If you get Townsville, like Cowboys early in the year, I
Darwin?
played up there a couple of years ago. It was like round 2, and I cramped in both calves. It was on my back, and I looked up and it was like 25 minutes to go still. Like I was just gone. But it can get pretty bad there.
I've got a question actually. If anyone else wants to get one in.
Anyone got any more before we hand over? Yes, I'll come round.
So, you have experience of coaching from both Willie and obviously Adrian Maguire. The qualities that they've both got probably top of the tree, but how do they differ in your opinion?
Similarities. I think they're both very team first, motivated coaches, your standards, and just buy-in. I think from the playing groups, the most important thing too. They both care about the little details, and obviously, good people making good footballers as well. So that's probably the similarities, and then the the difference is probably most blatantly, I got to have Willie as an attack coach. So, he's very smart around those sort of areas of the game and bring that sort of expertise into the Australian team. And Madge, as we kind of touched on before, is really big on defensive structures and the little areas of the games in that regard. So similar styles in terms of values, but also a little bit different in terms of the way they coach.
Just for the Brisbane fellas, the news broke about Payne has moving on. Has that disrupted plans in any way or affected any of the team?
I don't think it's disrupted us, to be honest. Like, obviously you talk about it and whatnot, but it took a few guys by surprise for sure. But I don't think it's been a big distraction or anything like that. We've got on with our job, and speaking of coaching, Madge has been pretty good at getting us back on task and focusing on what's important for us, and that's this game. So I kind of think it came at a good time, really, rather than through the middle of our season or something like that. We got it away, and 2 days later we were flying to England, so we got away from it.
Yeah.
Last call for any questions? Anyone? No? I guess I'll go to Matt for his question.
I was just going to say, obviously Payne's moving to Sydney. Either of you fancy move to England anytime?
It's a big call. It's a bit cold. I actually trained against the Broncos yesterday, London Broncos, and Jason Demetrio, their coach, came to me. He's like, you're still looking pretty sharp, mate. You're interested in coming over? So I would never say no, but pretty happy in the warm weather at the moment.
Never say never. Never say never.
There we go. Well, thank you so much to all of you for joining us, and let's give a big round of applause for our special guest. This has been Sin Bin Sessions. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Woo, done. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.